Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Unitrade Stadium Pony Palomino World Series action here live from Unitrade Stadium in Laredo, Texas, as we take on a new game bright and early this morning. Laredo, Texas versus Youngstown, Ohio in an elimination game. This World Series is double elimination, and last night, Youngstown, Ohio defeated Laredo for the chance to go on and meet Chinese Taipei in the World Series Championship event later tonight here at Unitrade Stadium. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. If you're listening to us on or watching us here on YouTube, Laredo Pony, LaredoPony.org, you can jump on and grab the link there as we continue to broadcast for you. The weather expected to be bright and sunny, probably approaching those triple digits early. And we'll do a quick little forecast for you. And here comes a Youngstown, Ohio team taking on Laredo as they head towards the field. This morning, it's expected to get to about 102 today. And right now, the weather is probably just under 90 degrees, which here in Laredo, Texas, considered sweater weather. Right now, about 86 degrees, feels like 92. Again, the high expected to be 102. There is not going to be any chance of rain today. About 1% is all it says, but no real clouds in the sky in this bright, sunny, hazy Monday morning. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready for some great baseball action as this team from Youngstown, Ohio faces Laredo, having beat them last night. Laredo having won Friday night, and this is the rubber match between the two. On the mound for Youngstown, Ohio, Ben McDonald, the left-hander, and he will be facing the leadoff batter Hector Cadena for Laredo. Laredo coached by Manolo Rangel. Our good folks at Youngstown, Ohio, thank you for helping us out with the names earlier this year at the tournament. In years past, they've been really great about helping us out, making sure the pronunciations are correct. I know that Todd Cagle is going to be your designated hitter, and Drew Boyven. Those are the two names that I have mastered this year. And Luis Torrenegra. Thank you to the folks from Youngstown, Ohio, for helping us get those right. And so here we go. Top of the order, first inning. Leading off for Laredo, Hector Cadena, the third baseman, and he'll be facing Ben McDonald here at Unitrade Stadium, Laredo, Texas. Pony Palomino World Series action 2026, and thank goodness the DJ turned that down. Let's get going. And that's ball one. That one gets by the catcher. Catcher for Youngstown, Ohio, Todd Jones. And that's a high fastball. 1-1 the count to the batter. Ben McDonald, left-hander, having a good tournament, as has Cadena. Bat went a little silent the other night, but the night before and a couple nights before that, his bat was smoking. Cadena, the third baseman, has 3-0 count, and he takes ball four and will walk. So the first batter for Laredo strolls down to first base. And now the batter for Laredo is Jacob Compian, the left fielder. And Ben McDonald on the mound. One runner on, nobody out. Top of the first inning, first game of the morning. And that's strike one from McDonald to Compian. Broadcast is being brought to you by HEB and our box score sponsor, Laredo Federal Credit Union, celebrating 70 years of service to the community. LFCU, Rafael Martinez and his crew out at the credit union. Being brought to you by Whataburger, Cigarro Heart Institute, and Ringo's Barbecue. McDonald checking Cadena over at first, safe. 1-1 the count to Compian. Some of our other sponsors, as we'll be calling them out, Trashco, Jerry Resendez and crew. Star Scholarship Fund, Steve Lamantilla and LNF. Thank you for taking care of our kids the other night. They hosted an event where they fed them all. Thank you to Javier Montemayor, attorney at law, for his sponsorship. State Representative Richard Raymond for his kind donation. D&D Homes, Joe Barron, one of the hosts of Three Men and a Mic, and also an excellent home builder. And that is outside. That's going to be 2-2 the count to Compian. McDonald on the mound, and that is 3-2. Nobody out, runner at first here in the top of the first inning. Compian the batter, and he takes ball four and walks to first base. Top of the first inning, Andrew De Leon, the pitcher, will be coming on to bat against Ben McDonald, the pitcher for and that's a nice bunt.
Now batting number 21, Ramon Martinez.
Number 21, Ramon Martinez, the center fielder. One out here as the bunt was successful in advancing the runners. McDonald on the mound, Martinez in the batter's box. And that's a foul tip. So last night we called the game, or yesterday we called the game between Chinese Taipei and Tijuana, Mexico. And we did that in 3 languages, and one of my good colleagues is ribbing me this morning about the call in Spanish. But we did it in Mandarin, we did it in English, and we attempted, and not a good attempt, to do it in Spanish. And that's low and in the dirt. 2-1 the count, one out, 2 runners on in scoring position here in the top of the first inning. Cadena at third, Compian at second, and Martinez facing here in sunny Laredo, Texas. Already going into the 90-degree weather here early in the morning, 10 o'clock Central Standard Time. Full count to Martinez. 2 runners on, 1 out here in the top of the first inning. Both teams vying for a shot at the title. And that one is a grounder to second, and that's going to be out number 2. But a run will score. Cadena crosses the plate, and Laredo breaks the ice 1-0 here. 2 outs, runner at third, and the left-hander Daniel Gonzalez, the catcher, will step into the batter's box. McDonald, the left-hander for Youngstown, Ohio, fires one low, ball 1. McDonald trying to close out the inning here with only 1 run given up.
Now batting is number 6, Daniel Gonzalez.
Has a 2-ball count to Gonzalez. And that's a strike. And let's take a look and see what Blue says. Yep, it's 2 balls, 1 strike here this morning. McDonald on the mound. Gonzalez, half-hearted swing to shortstop. And that's out number 3, but not before 1 run scores. We come to the bottom of the first inning with Laredo leading 1-0. And we'll be right back after this brief commercial message.
Cuando su familia necesita atención de emergencia inmediato, cuenta con nosotros. La sala de emergencias Laredo Medical Center Buena Vista ER ya está aquí, convenientemente ubicada junto al complejo deportivo Buena Vista. Atención rápida las 24 horas, los 7 días de la semana. Desde fracturas hasta condiciones que ponen en riesgo la vida. Nuestro equipo altamente capacitado está listo para usted. Laredo Medical Center Buena Vista ER.
Welcome back for the bottom of the first inning. The first batter for Youngstown, Ohio, leading off Andrew Corfield. Andrew De Leon on the mound for Laredo delivers strike one. Bottom of the first inning, nobody on, nobody out. Our leadoff batter, top of the order, Andrew Corfield. The shortstop, who's had a great tournament so far, trying to stay ahead here. Now trails 0-2 in the count. De Leon rifling about 86 miles an hour on that pitch. One of the goodies here at Unitrade Stadium is the radar, so we get to see the pitch speed. Corfield fouls it back into the net. And we've got some good baseball to be played today. Chinese Taipei waiting for the winner of this game tonight at 7 o'clock, and then the celebration begins afterwards with the closing ceremony and the presentation of awards. '27, Andrew Corfield. 1-2 the count to Corfield. De Leon fires, and that's inside ball two. 2-2 the count. Laredo team coached by Manolo Rangel, a long-time supporter of youth athletics, also president-elect of Border Olympics, another one of the fine athletic organizations here. And that's a foul tip. Andrew Corfield, 2-2 count. Nobody out, nobody on. Top of the order here. Corfield fouls that into the net. Battling De Leon, the pitcher for Laredo. Unitrade Stadium, home of the Tecolotes of the Dos Laredos, who play their games here and at La Junta Park in Nuevo Laredo. And that one is high and outside for a full count. We continue to broadcast to you live here from Laredo, Texas, Pony Palomino World Series action. And Andrew Corfield will walk to first base. Number 1, Drew Boyvin, who has a home run to his credit here in this stadium, is coming up to face De Leon here in the bottom of the first inning in the first game of the day. Championship game tonight. Winner of this game goes to that game and plays Taiwan, Chinese Taipei. And Boyvin lays down a bunt that gets right past the pitcher, and shortstop unable to make the throw to first base. So now we have runners at second and first, and number 7, Logan Plummer, the center fielder, left-handed batter, will come in and face De Leon. De Leon, a standout here in high school athletics, faces Plummer, the left-handed batter, and delivers strike one to him. Beautiful stadium here, Unitrade Stadium. Naming rights owned by Licenciado Eduardo Garza Robles. Unitrade, big firm here in Laredo, handles a lot of import, export, and logistics. But not to be outdone are our sponsors, Laredo Medical Center, Buena Vista ER, right down for the Buena Vista Sports Complex. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And that's a grounder to first. And the ball gets past the second baseman. Errant throw from first base. And Youngstown ties the score here at the bottom of the first inning. And Logan Plummer safe at first. Runners on the corners, nobody out. And number 3, Tyler Kurlick, who also has a home run in this derby, in this series, but not here at Unitrade. Got that at the Buena Vista Sports Complex, $45 million facility the city of Laredo built for sports tourism. And De Leon delivers strike 1 to Kurlick. The complex, located at the edge of town in South Laredo, new developments springing up all around it, including the Laredo Medical Center, Buena Vista ER, and our other sponsor, Whataburger. Hard to beat a Whataburger. They're down there right next to the ER, about 3 or 4 blocks from the sports complex on the same street. And there goes a runner, and that's fouled into the net. Plummer was headed to second. And number 3, Tyler Kurlick, fouled that into the net. On deck is Kyle Gilson, the first baseman. Kurlick, your second baseman for Youngstown, Ohio. And on the mound for Laredo, Andrew De Leon. And that's outside. So 1-1 the count. Nobody out. Runners on the corners. 1 run has scored. And we are tied here this morning. 1-2 the count. The scoreboard just updated. De Leon, the left-hander, facing the right-hander, Kurlick, with runners on the corners. Checks his runner at first. Nice, bright, sunny day here in Laredo, Texas. Wind not much of a factor. No rain in sight. Kurlick at the plate. De Leon on the mound. Runners at the corner. There goes a runner. And safe at second is Plummer. The one hop caught by the shortstop, unable to make the tag in time. So now runners both in scoring position. 2-2 the count, bottom of the first. Game tied here, 1-1. And Tyler Kurlick, the second baseman, settles in. Swing and a miss. Foul tip. And so that and if the scoreboard's right, it's a 2-ball, 1-strike count with nobody out here in the bottom of the first inning. Andrew De Leon pitching for Laredo, and he delivers another ball. And I see a full count from Blue, so 3-2. 3-2 is the correct count. Tyler Kurlick, the second baseman, facing off against Andrew De Leon, the left-hander. And that one goes into the net. We have runners in scoring position and no outs here in the bottom of the first inning. One the score. And looks like we've got some players going down the first baseline, going into the dugout. A little halt and play. And here we resume. Number 3, Tyler Kurlick, the second baseman. Number 3, Andrew De Leon, the pitcher. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And Kurlick is out number 1. Kyle Gilson, the first baseman, the left-handed batter, steps into the batter's box with 2 runners on and 1 out in the bottom of the first. Pony Palomino World Series action here live from Unitrade. And that's a chopper to first. And it's going to score a run. Out number 2 is recorded. And so is run number 2. So with that, Youngstown takes the lead 2-1 here in the bottom of the first inning. Runner at third, and number 10, Cam Mayer, the left fielder, steps into the batter's box. De Leon, the lefty, swing and a miss, strike 1 to Mayer. Activity in the Youngstown bullpen out there, right under the HEB sign. HEB, our title sponsor for this year. Number 10, Cam Mayer, takes ball 1 outside from De Leon. 1-1 the count to Mayer. 2 outs, runner at third. Youngstown leading 2-1 here in the bottom of the first. And that one is high to center field, and the center field will register out number 3. And that does it for the first inning. Laredo 1, Youngstown 2, and we'll be right back for the top of the second inning. The second baseman to face Ben McDonald. Voters voted on that twice, once to build it, once to move it, and now that facility is the crown jewel of Parks and Recreation's sports fields. And that's a strike to Cantu. 1-1 the count, 1 out, nobody on. Top of the second inning, Youngstown leading 2-1. Foul tip. Laredo Pony has been bringing these high quality tournaments to Laredo now for going on 10 years. Girls softball, boys baseball. And that's a chopper to third. Third baseman charging hard. And a good throw, and out number 2 at first base. Huge economic impact to the community with Pony and their tournaments. Primarily out-of-town teams coming here to play the locals. Super Regionals and World Series all held here in Laredo, Texas. Ben McDonald on the mound, number 15 at the plate. Ryan Gaona, the first baseman. 0-1 the count to Gaona with 2 out and nobody on. Top of the second inning, 2-1 the score. And that goes into right field. Right fielder coming in, and out number 3. And that brings us to the end of the top half of the second inning. We'll be right back with the bottom half. Half of the second inning. Andrew De Leon on the mound for Laredo. And number 6, Benny Husted, the third baseman, leads off for Youngstown, Ohio, and he takes strike 1 from De Leon. On deck, number 28, Todd Cagle, the designated hitter. Husted in the batter's box, De Leon on the mound. And that one goes eerily close to Husted. 1-1 the count. Bottom of the second inning, Youngstown on top of Laredo, 2-1. Sun coming right through my window here, nice and warm feeling. And that's a strike. 1-2 the count to Husted. Husted also having a good tournament. Helped his team power through yesterday and make it their way here to the elimination game here. Winner of this game will go on to face Chinese Taipei, Taiwan, already advancing to the championship game, waiting on the winner of this one to be played tonight at 7 p.m. here at Unitrade Stadium in Laredo, Texas. And that's a roller down to first base, nice and slow. Out number one here in the top of the second inning. Sorry, bottom of the second inning. Number 28. Todd Cagle, the designated hitter, facing the left-hander De Leon with one out and nobody on. And that's low. Catcher appeals to first. Safe. Did not go around. Thank you to our sponsors, HEB, Laredo Federal Credit Union. And that shot is into center field. And that is out number 2. And now the catcher, Todd Jones, will step up with 2 outs and nobody on.
Now batting number 18, Todd Jones.
Sponsor Laredo Medical Center, Buena Vista ER, right around the corner from the sports complex. Whataburger, Ringo's Barbecue and Burgers, Danny's Restaurant, STX Media for the use of their billboards to help announce the games. SMG, Sames Auto Arena, also letting us use their marquee to announce the games. Thank you to the folks over there, Anissa and Andy and those folks. James, heading up the crew over there at SMG, also heading up the concession stands at Buena Vista. Shout out to Trashco, Jerry Resendez. Thank you for your sponsorship. Javier Montemayor, attorney at law, and State Representative Richard Raymond, Texas House of Representatives, District 42. Number 18, Todd Jones, the catcher, facing Andrew De Leon, the pitcher. Here in the bottom of the second inning, 0-2 the count with 2 outs and nobody on, and that's a foul into the net. Great baseball action this weekend, all the way around. Teams from Belgium, France, the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, and our good friends from Mexico. And that's a grounder to second. Second baseman scoops that up, out at first, and that's 3 for the side. And we'll be right back with the top of the third inning, Youngstown 2, Laredo 1. Welcome back to Pony Palomino World Series action live here from Laredo, Texas. Top of the third inning, number 14 for Laredo, Enrique Loyola, goes by the nickname Quique. And he flies out to left field for out number 1 here in the top of the third. Youngstown clinging to a 2-1 lead here. Top of the order, Hector Cadena, the third baseman, who has a piece of lumber for a bat. Participated in the home run derby, belting 5 over the fence. Didn't win. There was young man Della Villar who did, who got 6, and so did Carlos Cruz from Covina, but lost in the swing-off. So with 1 out, Cadena, the third baseman, settles into the batter's box. McDonald on the mound for Youngstown, Ohio. And that's strike 1 to Cadena. 1 out here in the top of the third inning. And I've got a noisy neighbor next door. That's Hector Esparza from Game Changer, often referred to Game Wrecker. Hector Cadena, third baseman, facing McDonald on the mound, takes ball 2 from McDonald. Our sponsors, Mile One, part of the Laredo EDC, the Star Scholarship Fund. Strike 2 to Cadena. STX Media, Instituto Cultural de Mexico, and that's a fly ball into center field. Center fielder is going to give way to the left fielder as a ball drifted to the left for out number 2. The Laredo team, coached by Manolo Rangel, long-time advocate for youth sports in Laredo, will now head up Border Olympics, Texas' oldest outdoor track meet. Number 9, Jacob Compian, the left fielder. McDonald on the mound delivers strike 1 to Compian. 2 outs here in the top of the third. Youngstown clinging to a 2-1 lead here. Compian, the speedster, swing and a miss, strike 2. Showed off his skills with his feet yesterday. Great base running. Live stream is brought to you by some of our other good sponsors. Playmore Family Entertainment, Roquevela Jr. over there. And we announced the passing of Roquevela Sr., Roque's father, an icon here in Laredo, Texas. Highly decorated Vietnam War veteran, longtime business owner, member of the LISD school board at one time and the county commissioner's court. Always giving back to his community. He's going to be sorely missed. The world is a little darker without him. Rest in peace, our good friend Roquevela. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Compian goes down swinging. That will bring the close to the top half of the third. Youngstown 2, Laredo 1, and we'll be right back.
When someone in your family needs emergency care, you want it fast. And now, with Laredo Medical Center Buena Vista ER, help is here. Conveniently located next to Buena Vista Sports Complex, we offer emergency care 24/7. From treatment of broken bones to care for life-threatening conditions, our dedicated team is ready at Laredo Medical Center Buena Vista ER.
And we're back for the bottom half of the third inning. Youngstown leading 2-1. Andrew Corfield, the leadoff and top of the order for Youngstown. De Leon on the mound delivers ball one to Corfield. Corfield again having a good series, as they were able to best Laredo last night in the late game. And here we are early in the morning for the rematch. And that is high up in the air here. Infield, first baseman getting under it. There we go, out number one. Last night the ball seemed to drift as there was a breeze. Not a heavy breeze, but just enough where the ball kept moving a bit. Made for some awkward catches. Number one, Drew Boyven. Boyven, the right fielder, has a home run here in this stadium. Takes ball one from De Leon, the left-hander. Want to say thank you to Laredo Federal Credit Union, our box score sponsor. LFCU celebrating 70 years of service to our community. Great organization, great credit union. Great financial products available from these good folks over at LFCU. Thank you, Rafael Martinez, President. I want to say thank you to Orlando Navarro, one of the volunteers who helped put together events for some of these teams to go and attend during their downtime here in Laredo. Games and food were made available to some of these teams as they went on to youth organizations like San Martin de Porres Church, Blessed Sacrament, and a few others. And that one goes right up the middle. De Leon narrowly escaping that shot right over the mound. One out, one runner on, and here comes number 7, Logan Plummer. Happy to have everyone here joining us from Youngstown, Ohio, and those folks who are at work from Laredo. If you're on our Laredo Pony feed on YouTube, thank you for joining us as we strive to bring you a quality broadcast at no cost to the viewing public. No paywalls, no subscription, no monthly fees. Thanks to our sponsors like HEB, Laredo Federal Credit Union, Laredo Medical Center, Buena Vista ER, Trash Co., Advanced Spine Pain Solutions, and D&D Homes, among many others. STARS Scholarship Fund, Mile One, and we could not make this possible without the City of Laredo, Convention Visitors Bureau, Parks and Recs Department, and the management over at City of Laredo, City Council members, Mayor, and also help from Keep Laredo Beautiful, give out some goodie bags for our players and coaches. Logan Plummer takes a swing and a chop foul back. 1-2 the count with runner on here in the bottom of the third inning. Danny's Restaurant. If you haven't had a tan pequeña plate from Danny's, you have not lived. Great food, great service. The bottom of your coffee cup is never visible. And the runner goes high, fly ball here in the infield. Third baseman's going to get it just outside of the line for out number 2. Number 3, Tyler Kurlick.
Now batting number 3, Tyler Kurlick.
Comes in to face off against the left-hander De Leon as Youngstown clings to a 2-1 lead here in the bottom of the third. Laredo Pony Palomino World Series action. And that is playable by the catcher, and that is out number 3. And that does it for 3 innings here from Unitrade Stadium, Pony Palomino World Series Action 2026, and we'll be right back. Top of the 4th inning, Pony Palomino World Series action live from Unitrade Stadium, number 3. Andrew De Leon, the pitcher, at the plate with number 13. Ben McDonald still on the mound for Youngstown, Ohio. Close game here, 2-1 in the top of the 4th. De Leon the leadoff. Nobody on, nobody out. Want to continue mentioning our sponsors as best we can. I want to give a great shout out to the UISD bus drivers. If you're watching from home and you're from Laredo, you know that traffic is heavy in Laredo, and getting your kids safely to and from the venue and the hotel is important. And the UISD bus drivers have done a phenomenal job over the years. 2-1 the count to De Leon. Here in the top of the 4th inning, 2-1 the score. And that's high. That'll be 3-1 to count. Nobody out. De Leon, the leadoff batter here in the top of the 4th. So thank you to UISD for letting us have your buses and your drivers. And that shot is going over the head of the left fielder as De Leon puts one into the bleachers on a bounce, so he'll hold up at second base with a double. And it's starting to warm up a little bit here, a little drama, as Laredo starts to fight back to get into this thing, down only 2-1. Courtesy runner number 5, Michael Guerra. And coming to the plate, number 21, Roman Martinez, the center fielder. McDonald with a runner at second, facing Martinez, the right-hander, delivers. One in the dirt. 1 ball, no strikes, nobody out, 1 runner on here in the top of the 4th inning. Thank you to LISD, always in the wings waiting to help. They have in the past, providing us a venue to play, Veterans Field, a beautiful stadium in and of itself. Thank you to Luis Escamilla, the AD over there. Thank you to Bobby Cruz, UISD's athletic director as well. Martinez takes one on the dirt, so 1-1 the count here. 2-1 the count. De Leon for the stand-up double stands at second here. Nobody out. Top of the fourth inning. Laredo trailing by 1. And that one goes to second base. And out number 1 is recorded, but the runner advances to third base. The courtesy runner for De Leon, Michael Guerra, is at third base. And now Daniel Gonzalez, the catcher, throws right, bats left, will face McDonald, the lefty from Youngstown, Ohio. And that's a foul ball. Little chopper to first.
Now waiting number 6, Daniel Gonzalez.
Good looking sunny day as temperature is going to climb a little bit. But it's early enough that it's not too bad. Top of the fourth inning, runner at third. Gonzalez fouls one. One out here in the top of the fourth inning. One runner on, in scoring position, and Gonzalez at the plate. McDonald on the mound. And the pitch is low and outside to the left-hander. From the left-hander. 1-2 the count, 1 out. Pony Palomino action here in Laredo, Texas. And that's strike 3. So 2 outs here. McDonald will look to get out of the inning without giving up a run. He gave up a double. And the courtesy runner,
Now waiting number 7, Alejandro Galvan.
the courtesy runner Guerra is at third, and Galvan is at the plate, and he takes ball 1 from McDonald. Want to continue to read out the names of some of our sponsors. Instituto Cultural de México en Laredo, Consul General de México en Laredo. Thank you for your participation and all you did. Great event at the meet and greet. Ballet Folclórico. And that's a strike. 2-1 the count to Galvan. With a runner at third, 2-1 the count and 2 outs here in the top of the fourth inning. McDonald trying to close this off. And that one goes whizzing by our cameraman over there at first base. Hard shot. Galvan, 2-2 the count, 2 outs. McDonald delivers. And that's a high fastball. Is going to be ball 3. So with a full count and a runner at third, trailing 2-1, Galvan settles in. McDonald on the mound. Delivers. Foul ball by Galvan. Battling here at this at-bat. Trying to get the score tied here. In a elimination game, the rubber match. Laredo won the first one back on Friday. Youngstown won last night in the late game. And this one is for the chance to play Chinese Taipei. And that's a foul ball. Galvan making this at long a bat, making Ben McDonald work. Certain number of pitches are allowed for each game and each tournament, according to opponent rules. So a batter can do well by making the pitcher throw a few more and force a pitching change. Galvan in the batter's box. McDonald on the mound. And that's going to be a walk. So in the top of the fourth inning, as we come to the bottom of the order, Frankie Cantu, the second baseman, will step in with runners at the corners. And Ben McDonald on the mound here, trying to shut this down before any runs score. Delivers strike 1 to De Leon. So in this inning, McDonald has given up a double to De Leon and walked Galvan. And that's going to get through to center field. And Frankie Cantu delivers with a grounder out to center field. 1 run scores, and the game is now tied 2-2 at the top of the 4th inning. Number 15, Ryan Gaona. Gaona, the first baseman for Laredo, has 2 runners on, 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. 1 run has scored so far. And he takes strike 1 from McDonald. Big shout out to Guerra Communications. Belinda Guerra graciously let us have Casablanca Ballroom for the meet and greet. And that's a high fly ball right here in shallow center field. Second baseman drifting back out and grabs that. And that ends the inning, but not before Laredo ties the score 2-2 as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Score tied. We'll be right back. Here we are, bottom of the 4th inning. Kyle Gilson, the leadoff batter for Youngstown, Ohio. De Leon still on the mound, and that shot into right field is going to roll all the way to the track. Gilson's going to try for 3, and he's going to go in, sliding to third base. Youngstown, Ohio's leadoff batter, Kyle Gilson, with a 3-bagger. Here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Now batting number 10, Cam Mayer.
Cam Mayer, number 10, the left fielder, facing off against the left-hander De Leon as the action is heating up here. Runner at third, nobody out. Bottom of the 4th, 2-2 the score. And Mayer takes ball 1 from De Leon. De Leon, the pitcher, delivers another ball. 2-0 the count. Nobody out. 1 runner on here at third. Gilstead. And that shot is going to drop right in front of the center fielder, and Gilson will score. 3-2. Youngstown recaptures the lead here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Nobody out. Now a runner at first. 1 run has scored. And Benny Weste And that's spelled H-U-E-S-T. And that grounded to second. Second baseman able to grab it and keep it from going any further. Registers out number one, but the runner advances to second base. Want to give a shout out to our friends at Youngstown, Ohio for the correction. I see that it's pronounced H-U-S-T, Weste. Although it's spelled H-U-S-T-E-D, it's Weste. Benny Weste for Youngstown, Ohio. Now, number 28, Todd Cagle. Cagle at the plate. And Cagle shoots one into center field. And that's going to drop right in front of the center fielder for a single, advancing the runner from second to third. Runners now at the corners, one out. Bottom of the fourth inning, Youngstown recapturing the lead here. And looks like I have one more correction. It's Wested. Wested with the ED at the end. So Benny Wested here at third base. And that's low, ball one. Number 19 has come into the game, Cole Kapler. Cole Kapler. And that's a ball. Runners at the corner. Kapler coming in for Youngstown, Ohio. Again, thank you to the folks over at Youngstown, Ohio for the assist on the pronunciations. Number 10, Cam Mayer, standing here at third base. Benny Wested over at first, and Cole Kapler in the batter's box takes strike one. 3-1 the count, one out. Runners at the corners, bottom of the fourth inning. Youngstown leading 3-2 here. Pony Palomino World Series action. That's a high fly ball. And the runner smartly chooses not to challenge the center fielder's arm. And he holds at third base. Top of the order now coming on. Number 27, Andrew Corfield with runners at the corners. And I'm trying to get all the numbers right to see who is who and where is where. Corfield with runners at the corners, 2 outs, leading 3-2 here in the bottom of the fourth inning. De Leon still on the mound for Laredo. Has one go into the dirt, ball one. Nice, bright, sunny day, Laredo, Texas. Unitrade Stadium, Pony Palomino World Series action. Pony also celebrating 75 years. And that's ball two to Corfield. Celebrating 75 years, the same year that our country is celebrating 250th. Visible on the big logo, Pony Palomino World Series 2026 logo right in front of us. City of Laredo, thank you for your sponsorship and your help putting on the tournament. That one gets past the catcher. And a run will score, and runner advances to second base. Here in the bottom of the fourth inning, we have 3 outs, runner at second, 4-2, Youngstown, Ohio recapturing the lead here with 2 runs in this inning. Corfield trying to add to that. Takes strike one from De Leon. 3-1 the count, 2 outs, runner at second. Nice action here from De Leon. And that's a foul ball grounder right over the third baseline there. Number 28, Todd Cagle, is the runner at second. So Cam Mayer was the one who crossed the plate earlier, making it 4-2. And Corfield now trying to add to it. De Leon on the mound. Hits Corfield.
Now batting number 1, Drew.
And Cagle will return to second base after having Corfield hit by the ball. And coach is coming out to have a quick conversation with De Leon and his infield. Number 1, Drew Boivin, who has a home run already in this stadium, will look to add some runs and maybe add to his lead here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Great stadium, Unitrade Stadium here, named by one of the premier logistics companies here, Unitrade. Licenciado Eduardo Garza Robles, the principal there. Great organization. Big contributors to our community's activities. De Leon stays on the mound. Boivin comes in to face him with runners at second and first, 2 outs. And Boivin able to get one over to shortstop. Shortstop keeps it from going out into the outfield, but unable to make the throw. And bases will be loaded for Logan Plummer, the left-hander, with 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Youngstown leading 2-0. Plummer trying to add to his lead. Takes ball 1 in the dirt. De Leon, a surefire left-hander for Laredo. Good with the stick as well. Trying to close the door here with 2 outs. Delivers ball 2 to the batter. So trailing Plummer here, 2-0, with bases loaded and 2 outs. Runners ready to go. De Leon ready to pitch. And Plummer gets it to go through shortstop. And 2 runs will score here as number 27 Corfield crosses the plate ahead of Cam Mayer. 2 more runs score. 2 runners now on base at second and first. And Plummer delivers a 2-run RBI. A 2 RBI hit to shortstop that went just squeezing by the outstretched arms of the shortstop. And De Leon is done for the day as he heads to the dugout, and we will have a pitching change here. We'll stay with you so that we can thank some of our sponsors. Won't go away. HEB, our title sponsor. Laredo Federal Credit Union, LFCU, celebrating 70 years. The County of Webb, the City of Laredo. Convention and Visitors Bureaus, Parks and Recreation. Keep Laredo Beautiful, the nonprofit arm of the City of Laredo that keeps it looking clean. Thank you for the gift bags, Ruby Miranda and her team over there. Also, Mile 1, part of the Laredo Economic Development Corporation. Cesar Hernandez, thank you for helping us organize the meetings and bringing awareness to the tournament this year. The World Series returning to Laredo. 7 years now. And we want to thank Laredo Medical Center, Buena Vista ER, down there by the Buena Vista Sports Complex, filling your emergent care needs. Whataburger, also in the vicinity of the new facility out there. Whataburger all over town, all over Texas, all over. If you haven't had a Whataburger, you're missing out. Great stuff there. STX Media, thank you for the billboards and letting us announce the game and the meet and greet and all the good things you let us do. Also, SMG, Sames Auto Arena, for letting us use your marquee. Shout out to Rotex Truck Center. I always want to say Rotex Trucking because they're always trucking. Rotex Truck Center, Richard Rosas and his family, longtime supporters of youth sports here in Laredo. Andy's Auto Air, Andy's Mobility, Andy's Service Center, Goodyear, authorized Goodyear Service Center here in Laredo. Sunbelt Air Conditioning, the Rosas family, all great athletes in their day, now supporting youth athletics in Laredo, Texas and around. Shout out to Javier Montemayor, attorney at law, one of the hosts of 3 Men and a Mic, school board member and associate judge. He stays busy. Joe Barron, D&D Homes, great builder, doing a big remodel right now in Del Mar C. For those of you who know Laredo, know where that's at. Also a co-host of 3 Men and a Mic. Viral moment when we talked about youth sports, the good, the bad, and the ugly, with athletic director from UISD, shout out to him, Bobby Cruz, and Richard Rosas, president of Laredo Pony. If you haven't seen that episode, go take a look. It tackles the issues of youth sports in America and in Texas, and specifically coaching crisis. So here we go, return to the action, bottom of the 4th inning here. Number 3, Tyler Kurlick, the second baseman, with runners at second and first, 2 outs. 6-2 the score here. A new pitcher for Laredo, whose number we have not seen just yet. And the runners steal, and now we've got runners in scoring positions. Both runners advancing. Kurlick, the batter, facing the right-handed pitcher for Laredo, who has come in relief of Andrew De Leon. The count, 2 outs, 2 runners on, 4 runs scored so far this inning. And the pitcher here trying to close the door on Youngstown, who is apparently walking to first base. Kind of missed the action. I'm not sure what happened, and it may be an error with the scoreboard and our scorekeeper. I apologize for that, but bases are now loaded, and Kyle Gilson steps into the batter's box. And the mysterious scoreboard action continues. Strike 1 to Gilson, 2 outs here. Bases are loaded, bottom of the 4th inning. 6-2, Youngstown, Ohio leads. And number 4, Juan Pedro Briseño is our pitcher. Juan Pedro Briseño. Briseño on the mound for Laredo. Gilson at the batter's box, in the batter's box for Youngstown, Ohio. And Juan Pedro Briseño is trying to stem the flow of runs here with bases loaded. Gilson at the plate. 4 runs have scored so far. 1-1 the count, 2 outs here, bottom of the 4th inning. Pony Palomino World Series action live from Unitrade Stadium. And that one's in the dirt. 2-1 the count, 2 outs here. Little confusion just a little bit ago with number 3, Tyler Kurlick, walking to first. 2-1 the count, 2 outs, bases loaded, bottom of the fourth. Briseño, foul tip by Gilson. So far enjoying a warm Monday morning here at Laredo, Texas. Known for its great hospitality, its hot food, and its hot weather. Gilson in the batter's box. Juan Pedro Briseño stepping off the mound for second. Bases loaded, 2-2 the count, 2 outs. Briseño delivers, and Gilson is able to get it over to ground out to shortstop, and that ends the inning. 3 runners will be stranded, but not before 4 runs cross the plate. And Laredo trails Youngstown, Ohio 2-6 here as we go to the top of the 5th inning, and we'll be right back.
Life is full of great moments, special moments, shared with friends, family, and loved ones. But for some, pain deprives us from fully enjoying these moments. If chronic pain is keeping you from fully enjoying life, there is hope. Hi, I'm Dr. Marta Martinez. At Advanced Spine Pain Solutions, we're dedicated to treating our patients with the most advanced and compassionate care possible. Visit us for an evaluation and let our experienced staff help you get back to living a pain-free life.
When someone in your family needs emergency care, you want it fast. And now, with Laredo Medical Center Buena Vista ER, help is here. Conveniently located next to Buena Vista Sports Complex, we offer emergency care 24/7. From treatment of broken bones to care for life-threatening conditions, our dedicated team is ready at Laredo Medical Center Buena Vista ER.
And we're back for the top of the 5th inning. Number 14, Enrique Loyola, shortstop, leads off for Laredo. Ben McDonald, the left-hander, still on the mound for Youngstown, Ohio. Laredo trails 6-2 here in the top of the 5th. Quique Loyola, affectionately known here, nicknamed Quique, for Enrique Loyola, the shortstop. 1-1 the count. Here in the top of the 5th inning, Pony Palomino World Series action live from Laredo, Texas. Shout out to Jerry Resendez, Trash Co., Resendez Enterprises. Thank you for your sponsorship this year. And that's a chopper to short. Throw to first is successful. Out number 1 registered here in the top of the 5th. Loyola grounding out to short. Jerry Resendez, a longtime community supporter, Trashco Enterprises, Trashco.
Number 8, Hector Cadena.
Commercial waste hauler. And the top of the order, Hector Cadena, the third baseman, steps in. 1 out, nobody on, trailing 6-2 here. And he takes ball 1 from McDonald. Really great baseball action here today and all week. And that's a slow roller. Oh, to the shortstop, and the shortstop, Corfield, picked up his glove a little too early, and that squeezes by. And a runner at first, Cadena, as Jacob Compian, the left fielder,
Now batting number 9, Jacob Compian.
comes in to face McDonald, the left-hander, who has pitched a pretty good game so far here this morning. And that's inside. Close. Compian showing bunt. Now, if I can tell you anything from watching these teams play already once before, Compián has some speed, and Laredo would do well to get him on. He is an excellent small ball player, great bunter, and safe at first as McDonald checks the runner Cadena. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. 1 runner on here at the top of the 5th inning. Broadcast brought to you by HEB, and that's a high fastball. Broadcast is being brought to you by Liquid Studio Group, our 5th year broadcasting for Laredo Pony and the Pony organization. And it's my 4th year calling the games. We had others doing it beforehand, and now the duties have fallen to me. I've enjoyed doing it and broadcasting for you. Hope we do a good job for you all. Please let us know in the comments. We want to get better. We want to have the best equipment, the best broadcast. So let us know how we can make it better, knowing that we still have some technological challenges to overcome, as always. And that ball gets past the catcher, though. It is ball 4, but making sure Cadena doesn't advance any further. So with 1 out, 2 runners on, and Andrew De Leon will come into the batter's box, hoping to trying to cut the lead here as they trail 6-2 in the top of the 5th inning. Pony Palomino World Series action. Live from Unitrade Stadium here in Laredo, Texas. Big sponsor, title sponsor, HEB. And that's a strike from McDonald. 1-1 the count, 1 out, 2 runners on. 6-2 the score. Thank you to State Representative Richard Raymond for his support. The Stars Fund. Thank you to Steve Lamantia, the Stars Scholarship Fund, the premier here in South Texas, always doing more for our community. Andrew De Leon, the batter, McDonald, the pitcher, 2 runners on, 1 out, 2-1 the count, 6-2 the score. And that's low. 3-1 the count. With Andrew De Leon trying to drive in some runs to close the gap here. And that's a foul ball. That'll fill the count, 3-2 with 2 runners on and 1 out. Can De Leon make something happen? Can McDonald close Laredo out here in the top of the 5th? McDonald coming onto the mound, the starter for today for Youngstown, Ohio. 2 runners on, full count, 1 out. De Leon the batter. And an outstretched second baseman, Tyler Kurlick, is able to get the throw from Corfield, the shortstop, in time for a force out at second. And with 2 outs here, we have runners now at the corners, and Roman Martinez, the center fielder, will come in and face Ben McDonald, the left-hander. 2 runners on, 2 outs. Martinez the batter, McDonald the pitcher, and he takes ball 1 from McDonald. 1-0 the count. No runs have scored this inning. Youngstown leads 6-2. McDonald still on the mound. delivers a high fastball, ball 2, 2-0 the count. Martinez, the center fielder, has Gonzalez, the catcher, on deck. And McDonald delivers another high fastball. So 3 balls, no strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on at the corners. 6-2 the score. Martinez the batter, McDonald the pitcher. And HEB, your title sponsor. And that's a strike from McDonald. Roman Martinez, foul tip, and that will fill the count. 3-2 with 2 outs and runners at the corners. Roman Martinez trying to close the gap here on the score. 6-2, Youngstown leading. McDonald looking in, winds, and that's a foul ball going into the bleacher area. The third baseman for Youngstown, Ohio, Benny Wested. Want to make sure that I got that correction out one more time. Roman Martinez, the batter. McDonald, the pitcher. Runners at the corner. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And Martinez will walk to first base. And this will bring the tying run to the batter's box. Daniel Gonzalez, the catcher, the left-hander, will face the left-hander McDonald with bases loaded, 2 outs, top of the 5th inning, 6-2 the score. Pony Palomino World Series action, and that's outside. McDonald on the mound. Gonzalez at the plate. Bases loaded. 2 outs. The drama here at Unitrade Stadium. And that's low in the dirt. 2 balls, no strikes. Laredo trailing here 6-2, but with runners on all bases. The tying run steps into the batter's box to face McDonald, who's trying to close this out without allowing a run. Throws another high fastball. It'll be 3-0 the count to the catcher, Gonzalez. Pony Palomino World Series action. Ben McDonald, the pitcher. Gonzalez, the catcher, is walked, and a run will score here. And coach for Youngstown, Ohio, will walk out for just a sec to have a conversation. And are we going to see a pitching change here? And the outstretched arm of the coach appears to say yes as he signals over to the bullpen. Time to turn over the pitching duties to one of our relievers here from Youngstown, Ohio. Round of applause for our pitcher, Ben McDonald, as he steps off and walks into the dugout. And a new pitcher will come in for Youngstown, Ohio. And that looks like to be number 8, Lucas Marchaka. Okay, Youngstown, if you're out there on YouTube watching the game, help me with this pronunciation. I see the pitcher, number 8, Lucas M.A., and I'm going to say it's an R-C-Z-K-A, Marchak is the pitcher in relief of Ben McDonald. And so if you're out there watching and folks are looking on our YouTube, if we can get a correction and a right pronunciation for it. I know Benny Houston, like Houston, And so I think I finally got that right. Husted. Benny Husted is the third baseman. And let's hope I got that right for the final time. Husted. But now I've got challenges with final time I've got to pronounce that. But I've got a new one. Marczka. Marczka? I don't know. We're going to get it right. We're going to call him Lucas for now. Husted. All right, so we got Husted right now. Thank you for the feedback, Youngstown, Ohio. Now help me out with Marczka. 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 Lucas, number 8, is now the pitcher. So here we go. We return to the action here. Top of the 5th inning. 1 run has scored. The score is 6-3. And Alejandro Galvan will face the new pitcher, Lucas. Lucas, Marczka. We'll get that pronunciation just right in just a second. With bases loaded and 2 outs. Galvan trying to add to the score here. Lucas trying to close the door on it. 6-3 the score. Galvan, the batter, and the right-hander Lucas working to get this inning closed out. 1-1 the count as we approach the noon hour here in Laredo, Texas, Central Time. Number 7, Galvan, the right fielder, facing Lucas, the right-hander, with bases loaded, has a foul tip. And I think that got a piece of his ankle as he gingerly walks back into those. Seem to hurt quite a bit. And so he is checking the top of his foot there in his ankle. Oftentimes batters will have some protective gear there, but always manages to find that one chink in the armor. Got noisy neighbors next door. If your microphone picks that up, that's the folks over from Game Changer next door to us, Hector Esparza. Galvan, the batter, Lucas, the pitcher, and he delivers a ball. 2-2 the count, 2 outs, bases loaded, top of the 5th inning, and Youngstown trying desperately to cling on to its lead. New pitcher Lucas trying to close the door here. And that's a foul ball. Galvan keeping that alive. For those watching from Laredo and from Youngstown, Ohio, this is an elimination game. The winner of this game here will go on to face Chinese Taipei for the title. Lucas on the mound, Galvan at the plate, bases loaded, 2 outs, and that's a foul ball. Galvan making Lucas earn it here in the top of the 5th inning. 1 run has already scored. The score is 6-3. And Lucas Marczka is on the mound. And we will get his name right before this game ends. Galvan, the batter. Lucas, the pitcher. Bases loaded. 2 outs. 2-2 the count. And the delivery produces a foul ball. It's going to go into the picnic area here at Unitrade Stadium. As we continue to broadcast to you on a sunny Monday morning. Good attendance here this morning. The local team having their contingent here, but also Youngstown, Ohio brought a good group. Galvan, the batter, chops another one down the first baseline foul. 2-2 the count, 2 outs, bases loaded. Top of the 5th inning, 1 run has scored already. It's 3-6 here at Unitrade Stadium. As we try to get our as we try to get our bearing straight here, get a pronunciation for our pitcher, Lucas, and the batter, Galvan. That one's in the dirt. So that's going to fill the count here, 3-2. Batter's dream, top of the fifth inning. Bases loaded. Full count, 2 outs. And Galvan will face Lucas here. In the top of the fifth inning, all runners go. That ball is high into the air, and the left fielder is under it gingerly, and that will close the door on the run threat from Laredo. So as we close out the top half of the fifth inning, 3 runners are stranded. 1 runner did score. 6-3 here in Laredo, Texas. Pony Palomino World Series action. We'll be right back for the bottom half of the fifth inning with Youngstown, Ohio leading 6-3.
Full of great moments, special moments, shared with friends, family, and loved ones. But for some, pain deprives us from fully enjoying these moments. If chronic pain is keeping you from fully enjoying life, there is hope. Hi, I'm Dr. Marta Martinez. At Advanced Spine Pain Solutions, we're dedicated to treating our patients with the most advanced and compassionate care possible. Visit us for an evaluation and let our experienced staff help you get back to living a pain-free life.
Cuando su familia necesita atención de emergencia inmediato, cuenta con nosotros. La sala de emergencias Laredo Medical Center Buena Vista ER ya está aquí, convenientemente ubicada junto al complejo deportivo Buena Vista. Atención rápida a las 24 horas los 7 días de la semana, desde fracturas hasta condiciones que ponen en riesgo la vida. Nuestro equipo altamente capacitado está listo para usted. Laredo Medical Center Buena Vista ER.
Cam Mayer leads off for Youngstown, Ohio here in the bottom of the fifth inning, leading 6-3. Cam Mayer, the left fielder for Youngstown, Ohio. And the pitcher number 4, Juan Pedro Briseño, on the mound. Briseño delivers to Mayer, and that's a strike. 0-2 the count. Cam Mayer, the left fielder, Briseño, the pitcher, takes a high fastball, ball one. 1-2 the count, nobody on, nobody out. The leadoff batter for Youngstown, Ohio here in the bottom of the fifth inning, Cam Mayer. And that's a chop foul to third. Pony Palomino World Series action live from Unitrade Stadium. Mayer takes another high fastball. 2-2 the count. If you're just joining the broadcast, Mayer, the leadoff batter here in the bottom of the fifth. 2-2 the count. Nobody on, nobody out. Pony Palomino World Series action brought to you by HEB and our good friends at Laredo Federal Credit Union, Laredo Medical Center, Buena Vista ER, and Ringo's Barbecue and Burgers. Try the Doc Holiday. If you're really up for a challenge, take the Tombstone Challenge. Almost 3 pounds of deliciousness. And there's a challenge that you could try to beat. Great food down there. Our good friend George Gutierrez down there. Cam Mayer, swing and a miss, drops in. That is out number one here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Number 6.
Now batting number 6, Betty Custard.
Number 6, the third baseman, Benny Husted. Benny Husted, the left-hander facing the right-handed Briseño, with 1 out, nobody on, takes a high fastball inside. From Briseño, Husted, the left-hander, trying to get on base and extend the lead that they have, 6-2. Here at Pony Palomino World Series action from Laredo, Texas. Bottom of the fifth inning, and Husted flies one up high. It's going to be shallow. The left fielder coming up fast, the shortstop drifting back fast, avoiding the collision, registers out number 2. Number 28, Todd Cagle. Todd Cagle, the designated hitter, will come in here facing Briseño for the first time. Briseño, who came in relief of Andrew De Leon, fires a strike, swing, and a miss by Cagle. Pony Palomino World Series action brought to you by Mile One, under the direction of the Laredo Economic Development Corporation, Cesar Hernandez and his group over there. Trashco, Jerry Resendez. And Advanced Spine Pain Solutions, Dr. Marte Martinez, with clinics both here in Laredo and McAllen, Texas, down in the RGV. Soon to have Advanced Surgical Center here in Laredo, about to open up soon. Good old Dr. Marte Martinez, also a big supporter of youth sports. Daughters are great volleyball players and basketball players. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs here. Todd Cagle, the batter, Briseño, the pitcher. Youngstown, Ohio, trying to add to its lead here with nobody on. And Cagle shoots one, and that's going to go all the way to the fence. The right fielder rushing to keep that from happening. Alejandro Galvan backhanding that before it gets to the track and able to throw it back in, and it's a double for Cagle. So with a runner in scoring position and 2 outs, number 18, the catcher, Todd Jones, comes into the batter's box. And so I got my first correction. Now we'll just need to get the pronunciation right. It's Manczka, Manczka, for the reliever. And that's down in the dirt. Ball one. 2 outs, runner at second. 6-3 the score. Bottom of the 5th inning. Game brought to you by Danny's Restaurant, La Posada Hotel, Guerra Communications, and the Cigarroa Heart Institute, Dr. Ricardo Cigarroa. Nice to have them supporting us here. Dr. Cigarroa's daughter, Alyssa Cigarroa, city council member and also a big supporter of Pony. Shout out to her. The entire city council and mayor providing funding for these types of sports tourism events that bring a great economic impact to the city of Laredo. Much more than just regular league play. These tournaments bring in teams from all over town and now all over the world here as well. Number 18, Todd Jones, the catcher, has a 2-0 count with 2 outs and 1 on here at second base. Pony Palomino World Series action. Let's see what Todd Jones can do. He's a little jittery there, but took ball 3. 3-0 the count, 2 outs, runner at second. Jones trying to add to the lead Youngstown enjoys right now, 6-3. Here at the bottom of the 5th inning, and he takes strike 1 from Briseño. JP, Juan Pedro Briseño, doing his best to make sure the runs don't come in, the score stays tight, giving his team a chance to advance. And that one goes over the head of the first baseman, and that's going to score a run. Here comes Todd Jones batting in. An RBI with that shot over the first baseman's head and rolling all the way to the wall, the sidewall. And that brings Andrew Corfield to the batter's box. Juan Pedro Briseño on the mound with a runner at second and 2 outs. Delivers a high fastball, ball 1 to Corfield. Corfield also having a excellent series. Trying to add to the lead here in the swing and a miss by Corfield in the bottom of the 5th inning. 1 run has scored. We got a runner at second. There are 2 outs. And 1-1 the count to Corfield. Briseño on the mound, hoping to close this out without any further damage. Swing and a miss. Excellent pitch by Briseño. Good cut by Corfield. 1-2 the count. Two outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Runner at second. Briseño on the mound. Corfield in the batter's box. 7-3 the score. And Corfield fouls that back into the net. Again, pitch counts become important as this tournament goes on. In the series, you're only allowed a certain number of pitches per pitcher. And then time has to elapse before they can get back on, or it limits the number of pitches they can throw in the next game. So number 27, Andrew Corfield facing Briseño. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Corfield is out. And that does it for the bottom of the 5th inning. As we head to the 6th, it's Youngstown 7, Laredo 3, and we'll be right back.
Great moments, special moments, shared with friends, family, and loved ones. But for some, pain deprives us from fully enjoying these moments. If chronic pain is keeping you from fully enjoying life, there is hope. Hi, I'm Dr. Marta Martinez. At Advanced Spine Pain Solutions, we're dedicated to treating our patients with the most advanced and compassionate care possible. Visit us for an evaluation and let our experienced staff help you get back to living a pain-free life.
When someone in your family needs emergency care, you want it fast. And now, with Laredo Medical Center Buena Vista ER, help is here. Conveniently located next to Buena Vista Sports Complex, we offer emergency care 24/7. From treatment of broken bones to care for life-threatening conditions, our dedicated team is ready at Laredo Medical Center Buena Vista ER.
Here we go. Top of the sixth inning. Leadoff batter for Laredo, number 33.
Now batting number 33,
Frankie Cantu, facing the right-hander, number 8, Lucas Manchak. Manchak, I think we got that one pronounced right, but we'll wait for our folks from Youngstown, Ohio to help us. Swing and a miss by Cantu. Cantu has a foul tip that rolled right in front of the plate, but rolled foul. Lucas Manchak, the pitcher for Youngstown, Ohio, taking on the leadoff batter here in the top of the sixth inning, Frankie Cantu, the second baseman. As we broadcast live to you from Unitrade Stadium, courtesy of our sponsor, HEB, and Laredo Federal Credit Union, our box score sponsor, and a whole host of others who have been so gracious to help us here. That's a foul ball. IBC Bank, another big sponsor. We're going to give them a lot of mentions today because they really deserve it. Those guys have been such great supporters of our community. One of the largest, best banks in the country, Hispanic owned. Just a phenomenal company there. And that one is in the dirt. 2-2 the count, nobody on. Leadoff batter Cantu facing the right-hander Lucas Manchak. Dennis Nixon, Jerry Schwebel, Gabriel Castillo, and a whole host of others that are just great people down there at IBC, International Bank of Commerce in Laredo, Texas. Love what they do for the community. There is no better banking in Laredo, Texas than IBC. And that's a foul tip. Galvan the batter, Manchak the pitcher for Youngstown, Ohio. 7-3 here in the top of the sixth inning as the breeze gets a little cooler as that sun starts to kind of go over the top of us. Gotta love this Texas weather, especially the South Texas weather. That's a foul ball going into the net. Lucas Manchak, the pitcher. Frankie Cantu, the batter. No outs here. Full count to the batter, Cantu. Top of the 6th inning. And that's a hard shot to third base. Third baseman a little low, but the first baseman able to dig that out. Kyle Gilson, the first baseman, scooping that off the ground there for out number 1 here at the top of the 6th inning. And that will bring on number 15, nope, number 4, I'm sorry, number 4, Juan Pedro Briseño.
Now batting number 4, Juan Pedro Briseño.
And that's a strike to Briseño from Manchak. 1 out here in the top of the 6th inning. Laredo trailing 3-7. Youngstown, Ohio, trying to earn its ticket. Woo! And that sailed dangerously close to Coach Manolo Rangel. Trying to earn its ticket to the championship game to face off against Taiwan, Chinese Taipei, the team that has not lost a game yet. Await the winner of this one here in the 7 o'clock game tonight. And that one gets past the catcher, Todd Jones. Lucas Manchak, the pitcher for Youngstown, Ohio. Briseño, the pitcher for Laredo, in the batter's box. Wanted to take a cut at that, did not. 1 out here in the top of the 6th inning. 2-2 the count to Briseño. Manchak, the pitcher, in relief of Ben McDonald, who had an excellent game. And that one goes out into center field in that 6-4 gap. And that's going to bring up number 14, I think, here. Let me see. 14, Enrique Loyola, the shortstop. Quique Loyola will step into the batter's box with a runner at first. 1 out, trailing 7-3 here. And he will face the right-hander, Lucas Manchak. And again, we're hoping to get that name pronounced properly. And that's going to drop right in front of the center fielder. And it looks like it's rally time for Laredo as bats are starting to come alive. As we have hit the noon hour here in Laredo, Texas, 12:06 Central Standard Time. The coach calling over his runners and his batter, the top of the order, Hector Cadena, and a little brief discussion about what we do here. The red, white, and blue helmets here in front of me. Outstanding coach, Rangel, who's been here before. No stranger to tough games, no stranger to the series either. The host team allowed to put in an all-star team every time. And the all-star team in Laredo has always challenged for the title, having won before. Great organization, Laredo Pony, Manolo Rangel, Richard Rosas, and Pony altogether. Arnulfo Banda, the South Zone Vice President, Abel Goena, and Hector Esparza, and a whole host of others who come down here as directors to supervise this tournament. 2 runners on, 1 out. Hector Cadena, top of the order. Lucas Manchak, the pitcher, here in the top of the 6th inning, takes ball 1 from Manchak. Excellent baseball being played here all weekend long. The Pony Bronco 12U playing at the Buena Vista Sports Complex. Championship game held over there as well. And that's a strike to Cadena from Manchac. The Laredo crowd not liking that call. Manchac came in relief of Ben McDonald, who had a great game. Allowed only 2 runs. 1 run scored with Manchac on the mound. Swing and a miss by Cadena, who carries some lumber in his hands. He is a good batter. Excellent third baseman. Good defenseman. But also carries a heavy stick. 2 runners on, 1 out, and that one gets away from the catcher. And the runners will advance into scoring position. Trailing 7-3, the importance of moving those runners into scoring position cannot be overstated. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Cadena, the big hitter, the top of the order for Laredo, faces Lucas Manchac with 2 on, 1 out here in the top of the 6th. And the runner holds. And an errant throw by Husted allows a run to score and for Cadena to arrive safely at first base. Husted not happy with that call, that throw. Manolo Rangel having a conversation with Jacob Compian. Number 9 is the left fielder, has runners at the corners. It's 7-4 now. Laredo closing the gap with 1 out and 2 runners on, trying to close that gap even further. Strike 1 to Compian, who was showing bunt with number 14 Loyola at third and Cadena at first. 0-1 the count, 1 out, 1 run has scored so far. And that one hits the side fence there over by right field. The right fielder trying to get there as fast as he could. Drew Boyven, the speedy Drew Boyven. Now Manchac trying his best to keep the score exactly where it is. Has runners at the corners and Jacob Compian in the batter's box. Here in the top of the 6th inning, 1 run has already scored. There goes runner Cadena, and that's a chopper to second, and that ground out is going to bring in the runner from third. 7-5, the lead now down to 2, and number 3, Andrew De Leon, comes in to try to bring Hector Cadena, who is standing on second base, home. With 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. Laredo looking to close this gap as Manchac hopes to close this door. And that's a foul tip. Cadena is pretty fast for his size. Deceptively fast. Will try to get to third base with De Leon at the plate. Manchac on the mound. 2 outs here. And De Leon takes one on the number 3. And so he walks De Leon. So the tying run moves into first base. And the go-ahead run Roman Martinez moves into the batter's box, and now we're going to have a quick discussion here by the coach from Youngstown, asking if everything's all right. Manolo Rangel taking advantage of this break to talk to his runners and his batter and see what they can conjure up to close this gap and tie this game. They trail 7-5. 2 runs have scored in this inning. So Roman Martinez will try to close this gap even further. He represents the go-ahead run. The tying runs are on the bases now, second and first. Cadena at second. And Compián on first. Correction, De Leon at first. I'm trying to look to see if I can get that one right here. 1-0 the count, 2 outs. Martinez at the plate. Manchak on the mound. The runners go. And Cadena just beats that tag here at Unitrade. So the runner advances to third, and the runner from first to second. In scoring position with Martinez at the plate. 1-0 the count with 2 outs. Can they get it done? Can Laredo tie the score here in the top of the 6th inning? 2 runs have scored already, and Martinez fouls one back into the cheap seats. Manchak the pitcher. Runners in scoring position. 2 outs. The drama as Laredo tries to tie the game here in the top of the 6th inning for a chance to get at the Chinese Taipei team in the championship game. And that's low, so that's going to be 2-1 the count here at Unitrade Stadium. The runner at third base, Hector Cadena, committed to Texas A&M, product of Rush Athletics, has a low fastball coming into Martinez. And so now the count is 3-1 with 2 outs, 2 runners on in scoring positions. As I mentioned earlier, Hector Cadena committing to Texas A&M, the Fighting Texas Aggies. He is a product of Rush Athletics as well. And Manchak, the pitcher. And oh my, the third baseman able to get that throw to first base, and looks like Gilson may have come off the bag here at first base. And the runner's going to be safe, and that's going to bring in one more run, 7-6 now. Husted with a throw to first base, but Gilson coming off the bag. And Blue having a discussion about what just happened. And it's going to be hard to tell what happened. I'm hoping somebody who is out there can give us a heads up on what that looks like. And it's going to be safe. And so now we've got a correction for Lucas Mansaka. Mansaka, the pitcher, will now face Daniel Gonzalez with runners at the corners. and he delivers strike one to Gonzalez. 2 outs here, runners at the corner. What looked like a great defensive play by Husted. Gilson comes off the bag on the throw and unable to secure that 3rd out, and a runner scores. Foul tip, Gonzalez fouls it back into the net. 0-2 the count, 2 outs, 2 runners on. And Laredo tries to tie it up here in the top of the 6th inning with 3 runs scored so far, 2 outs, 0-2 the count. And Manzaka fires another one in. Foul ball back into the net again. 12:18 here in Laredo, Texas, Central Standard Time. Youngstown, Ohio clinging to a 1-run lead with 2 runners on the corners. And Daniel Gonzalez, the catcher, batting against Lucas Manzaka of Youngstown, Ohio. And the pitch is foul and going to be out of play here. This is going to be a barn burner. This is an elimination game. If Youngstown wins, they go and play against Chinese Taipei. If Laredo wins, they will play Chinese Taipei for the championship tonight at 7 o'clock. The drama builds. And Gonzalez puts another one into the parking lot. Lucas Manzaka doing his very best to close the door here and maintain that 1-run lead and give his team a chance to come back up and stretch that out again as they have in previous innings. Gonzalez, the catcher, at the plate. Manzaka delivers, and that's high. So that'll be ball 1 to Gonzalez. 1-2 the count, 2 outs. Here in the top of the 6th inning, 3 runs have crossed the plate. 2 runners are on. And Gonzalez trying to bring one of them in to tie the score, if at all possible. And the ball goes over the head of the left fielder. And that's going to score 2 runs. As Gonzalez delivers a 2-run double, and Laredo takes over the lead here 8-7 in the top of the 6th inning. Youngstown, Ohio now trails 8-7 in the top of the 6th inning. A 5-run inning so far for Laredo. And a courtesy runner will come on for Laredo. And I believe that's number 1, Armando Lozano. We'll confirm that for you, the courtesy runner, who now stands at second with number 5. Coming to the plate, Michael Guerra. Michael Guerra will try to add a little insurance here. In the top of the 6th inning, 5 runs have been scored, 2 outs, runner at second. Manzaka still on the mound, and Guerra looking to extend here. Manzaka looking in and gets a little chin music to Guerra, who swiftly gets his head out of the way. Courtesy runner at second, 2 outs, 1-0 the count. Manzaka the pitcher, Guerra the batter. And that's a swing and a miss by Guerra. The 2-run double by Gonzalez, bringing in the go-ahead run. And now number 5, Guerra, tries to add to it with a swing and a miss, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner at second. Top of the sixth inning, Pony Palomino World Series brought to you by HEB, IBC Bank, Laredo Medical Center, Buena Vista ER, and that is out number 3 here in the top of the sixth inning, but not before 5 runs are belted in, and Laredo recaptures the lead 8-7. And we'll be right back after this brief message. For Youngstown, Ohio, and I got a good, reliable correction for the pitcher Lucas Manska. Swing and a miss by Boyvin. Laredo now leading 8-7. JP Briseño, Juan Pedro Briseño on the mound for Laredo. Boyvin, who has a home run to his credit in this stadium, on the mound, in the batter's box, taking ball 1 from the mound, Briseño. 1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody out. Leadoff batter here, Drew Boyvin, trying to get his team to recapture the lead. Gets a grounder to short. And that's out number 1 recorded here in the bottom of the 6th. Now, as I said earlier, this is an elimination game. The winner of this game goes on to face Chinese Taipei, Taiwan, tonight at 7 o'clock. Logan Plummer now at the bat. Briseño on the mound. And that one's low in the dirt, 1-0. 1 out here. These two teams exceptionally competitive. Trading games earlier on. Laredo winning on Friday. Youngstown winning last night, Sunday, in the last game of a doubleheader in the evening. And this is the rubber match. 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out, nobody on, bottom of the 6th inning. And that's ball 3. As Youngstown trails by 1, having given up 5 runs in this top half of the inning. Logan Plummer, the batter. JP Briseño, the pitcher. And that's going to be ball 4. And with 1 out, Plummer heads to first base. Number 3, Tyler Kurlick, also has a souvenir home run baseball in his possession, having knocked one out at Buena Vista Sports Complex, at $45 million facility the city of Laredo owns down in South Laredo. And Kurlick trying to bring in his teammate who stands at first base, Logan Plummer. They trail by 1, having led for just 2 innings, and now find themselves down by 1. Kurlick, the second baseman, takes strike 1 from Briseño. Thank you to IBC Bank, Dennis Nixon, Jerry Schwebel, Gabriel Castillo, a whole host of folks down there who are great supporters of the City of Laredo youth and sports. Shout out to Dr. Marte Martinez, Advanced Spine Pain Solutions, and Dr. Ricardo Cigarroa Heart Institute, 2 of our fine doctors here in this community. And Laredo Medical Center, Buena Vista ER, rounding out our medical sponsors. Thank you to them for all they did to get this World Series brought to you here in Laredo, Texas. 3-1 the count, 1 out. Logan Plummer at first. Kurlick is headed to first base. And the catcher wanted to have a good conversation with his pitcher. Number 24, Kyle Gilson, will make his way to the batter's box. The left-hander will face Juan Pedro Briseño, JP. Number 4, here in the bottom of the 6th inning, as the sun goes high into the noon sky here in Laredo, Texas. Laredo leading 8-7. The Laredo Cardinals, managed by Manolo Rangel, Aaron Navarro. Gilson with 2 runners on, 1 out. Fouls one towards the third baseline.
Now batting number 24, Kyle Gilson.
Kyle Gilson, the first baseman, left his foot off the bag and allowed a run to come in, is going to try to make up for it here with a low pitch. 1-1 the count to Gilson. Try to make it up with a run here. If he can drive in these 2 runners he's got, 1 at second, 1 at first, 1 out, 8-7 the score. Briseño on the mound, Gilson in the batter's box, and Gilson and almost an errant piece of base running by Plummer, who hightailed it to third, unaware that that ball was going to be caught by the center fielder. The center fielder almost able to get him there at second.
Cam Mayer.
So Cam Mayer now has 2 runners on, 1 at second, 1 at first, 2 outs. Bottom of the 6th inning, trailing by 1, 8-7. Briseño on the mound, and that's a high fly ball here, shallow right field, and that is the end of the 6th inning. So here we go. 6 innings are complete. Last inning. The winner of this game will go to face Chinese Taipei, and Laredo leads it by 1 as they come to bat. And we'll be right back for the top half of the last inning. top of the seventh inning. Leadoff batter number 33, Frankie Cantu, will try to add some insurance runs here as he faces Lucas Manska from Youngstown, Ohio. 1 ball so far to Cantu, and that's a high foul ball. The catcher getting underneath it, can't make the catch, and he is not happy with himself. They needed to get that one out to keep the score tight, but Laredo with a lucky bounce off the glove. Todd Jones, the catcher, 1-1 the count here in the top of the seventh inning. Again, the winner of this game goes on to play Taiwan, Chinese Taipei in the championship game this evening at 7 o'clock. Frankie Cantu is your batter. Manska is your pitcher, and that's low in the dirt. 2 balls, 1 strike to the leadoff batter, Frankie Cantu, here in the top of the seventh inning. Nobody on, nobody out. And that's high and inside. 3-1 the count. Manska trying to keep this thing just where it is. Has 3-1 to the batter, Cantu. And then a swing and a miss by Cantu. Good cut. Good pitch by Manska. Here at the top of the seventh inning. Oh! And that was foul. Now, somebody needs to check on that umpire as he took one right off the shoulder. That shot foul. Gilson made an effort for it but didn't touch it, so that's a foul ball. Full count here. Frankie Cantu in the batter's box. Lucas Manska, the pitcher, gets him to fly high into right field. And that's out number 1 here for Youngstown, Ohio, as they try to keep the score just where it is, trailing only by 1. And they'll have the final at bat if it remains the same here in the top of the seventh inning. 1 out. Number 4, Juan Pedro Briseño, the batter. Juan Pedro Briseño is your batter. Lucas Manska is your pitcher. Youngstown, Ohio trails by 1 here at the Pony Palomino World Series, live from Unitrade Stadium, courtesy of HEB, IBC, and LMC. And that's a foul ball, chopping off the plate. 1-1 the count with 1 out. Briseño putting maximum effort to get down to first base, even though it was a foul. Laredo Medical Center, LMC, Buena Vista ER, right down the street from the Buena Vista Sports Complex. Beautiful brand new facility for all your emergent care. Emergencies do happen, and LMC Buena Vista ER is there for you. Whataburger, Ringo's, and Danny's, 3 of our best restaurants here in Laredo, Texas. And that's a foul ball. That one goes into the net over by the Youngstown, Ohio dugout. Ringo's Barbecue and Burgers. Great brisket, great sausage, ribs, turkey, chopped beef. You got it all over there at Ringo's. And that's inside. 2-2 the count. 1 out here. Manska trying to keep it tight here with Youngstown trailing 8-7 here in the top of the 7th inning. And the left fielder, Cam Meyer, making that grab. Out number 2, number 14, Enrique Kike Loyola, coming into the batter's box, and he's having a conversation quickly with Manolo Rangel. Youngstown, Ohio will have the last at bat, and if they're able to best Laredo, they will go meet the Chinese Taipei team tonight. If Laredo hangs on, they will be the ones challenging for the title. And as it's always said, everybody wants a shot at the title. They want a shot at the champ. Number 14, Loyola.
14, Loyola.
The shortstop will face off against Lucas Manska, the right-hander for Youngstown. Oh, good pitch, but ball 1. 2 outs, nobody on. Top of the 7th inning, the last frame here. Unless we get a tie. And that's always a possibility. Strike 1. 1-1 the count to Loyola. Manska, the pitcher for Youngstown, Ohio, facing the batter, Loyola. And that's a grounder. And Loyola is able to get to first base. The grounder missed by Husted, but Corfield, the shortstop, able to backhand it and at least make an effort to get it to first. Unable, as the throw was off the bag. So Gilson able to keep the ball from getting away from him, but not able to make the tag. So top of the order, Hector Cadena, the commit to Texas A&M, the Fighting Aggies, product of Rush Athletics, in the batter's box facing Manska. And that shot is going to go foul, but that one could have gone yard. And that would have added some insurance for Laredo. Cadena does carry a piece of lumber with him. He is a good base runner. He is a great defenseman, but his stellar attribute is that he can put this ball in the parking lot when needed. Cadena, the batter. Manska steps off the mound for a second to rethink his pitching choice. With a runner on and 2 outs, 0-1 the count to Cadena, and Manska delivers, and that's a grounder to third. Oh, what looks to be like a questionable call. Gilson appears to have pulled his foot off the bag, and Cadena is safe at first after a grounder to Husted. Husted making the throw. And if anyone can see that back home, I know that's one we'd love to have on instant replay, but and see if we can get a good look at that. From our instant replay here up top. Jacob Compian will step into the batter's box with Laredo leading by 1, but 2 runners on, 2 outs here. He's trying to add some insurance to it and hoping we can extend the lead here as Laredo tries to hold on to that 1-run lead. And that one gets past Todd Jones, and that puts runners in scoring position with 2 outs. Dangerous position to be in with 2 outs, and the speedy Compian here at the plate. So I think Manska has done for the day, and a new pitcher will come in to spell him here. The reliever, I believe, is going to be our second baseman, Tyler Kurlick. And we'll confirm that for you in just a second. And we're still trying to kind of figure out here what that play at first was. It looked like he was out from where we are, but obviously the blue is right there on top of it, and he made the call safe after that throw from Husted to Gilson earlier on. Had that taken place, then we would have been looking at the Youngstown team batting. Instead, we've got a pitching change here. So the pitching change is Kurlick, the second baseman, who now moves into the pitcher's mound and will now have Compián in the batter's box with runners in scoring position here in the top of the seventh inning. Laredo leads it just by one, 8-7, as we are approaching the 1 o'clock hour. And the sooner this game ends, the sooner these boys can go get a rest and get ready for tonight, if they are successful here at this game. I'd like to say that the Chinese Taipei team from Taiwan is probably enjoying a good spa day, getting a little rest, getting pampered up, getting ready for the game tonight, while these two are battling out here in the hot sun in Laredo, Texas. Here we go. Kurlick, the new pitcher, on the mound for Youngstown, Ohio. Number 9, Javier. Jacob Compián, sorry about that. Jacob Compián takes ball one from Kurlick. Well, let me take that back. It's the first ball from Kurlick, but it's 2-0 the count. 2 outs, 2 runners on. Top of the 7th inning. And Kurlick fires a strike. 2-1 the count. 2 outs. Compián at the plate. Runners in scoring position, trying to extend the lead. That's a foul ball. And no runs have scored this inning. One call that looked a little out of sorts at first base. Outside of that, it's been a barn burner. 2-2 the count, 2 outs, 2 runners on here in the top of the 7th inning, and that's low. And that's going to load the bases. Load the count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on. Compián in the batter's box. Kurlick on the mound. And he walks Compián. So with Compián walking to first and 2 outs, number 3, Andrew De Leon, will step in. Manolo Rangel having a conversation with Blue, and Compián walking back from first to be part of that discussion. Manska was the pitcher and Kurlick the reliever. As there's a little bit of a discussion, a little lull in the action, a little quiet on the mic as well, as we kind of figure out what is being discussed. Okay, here we go. So A little mix-up here. Compián is back in the batter's box. It is. There are 2 runners on, 2 outs, and we don't know what the real count is, but Kurlik fires one, and that is fouled into the picnic area. And we're going to try to get a correction here. It's now a full count. It appears that the count was erroneous on the scoreboard. Even Blue had to kind of rethink it and recheck it, and now brought Compián back in the batter's box. So full count, 2 outs, 2 runners on, Kurlik on the mound, and Compián fouls it back in the net. Battling hard to stay at the at-bat, hoping to add an insurance run as a slim lead by Laredo here at the top of the 7th is hanging on by a thread. And that's high up in the air here. And that's going to drop into the bleachers, hitting over by the VIP suite. Kurlik came in relief of Manska, who pitched a relatively great game until the 6th inning when he got rocked and 5 runs came in. Laredo took the lead there, 8-7. They hold it now with 2 runners on. And Compián is walked, and Blue, calling that a ball, loads the bases for Laredo. Andrew De Leon, who was pitching earlier, is now in the batter's box to face Kurlik, and he takes ball 1 low. Youngstown can ill afford a walk here as they're already trailing by 1. They've got 2 outs. The bases are loaded. And De Leon is trying to add to that to secure their trip to the championship game. And that is strike 1. 1-1 the count. 2 outs here in the top of the 7th inning. And that's high in the infield. Second baseman will capture that for out number 3. So no runs score. 3 men get stranded on the bases. And that's the end of the top half of the 7th inning. Here we go, the bottom of the frame. Laredo 8, Youngstown 7. Can they pull it out? Can they punch their ticket to the championship? We'll be right back.
It's full of great moments, special moments, shared with friends, family, and loved ones. But for some, pain deprives us from fully enjoying these moments. If chronic pain is keeping you from fully enjoying life, there is hope. Hi, I'm Dr. Marta Martinez. At Advanced Spine Pain Solutions, we're dedicated to treating our patients with the most advanced and compassionate care possible. Visit us for an evaluation and let our experienced staff help you get back to living a pain-free life.
When someone in your family needs emergency care, you want it fast. And now, with Laredo Medical Center Buena Vista ER, help is here. Conveniently located next to Buena Vista Sports Complex, we offer emergency care 24/7. From treatment of broken bones to care for life-threatening conditions, our dedicated team is ready at Laredo Medical Center Buena Vista ER.
And leadoff batter here in the bottom of the 7th inning, trailing 8-7 to Laredo. The batter for Youngstown, Ohio, Benny Husted, will try to get something started for his Youngstown team as they trail by 1. And that one is going to go high into the air. Third baseman getting under it. Hector Cadena registers out number 1. Number 28, Todd Cagle, the designated hitter, will try to do something here as Laredo hangs on to a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Can Laredo punch its ticket to the championship? Cagle, the designated hitter, facing Briseño, who came in relief of Andrew De Leon. Foul tips that into the back net. Unsure about that swing. 1-1 the count. 1 out. Nobody on. Bottom of the 7th inning. Youngstown trying to get something started as Laredo clings on to its 1-run lead here. Winner of this game, whoever comes out on top at the end of this inning, will face Chinese Taipei in the championship game. The drama at Unitrade. And that's a chop grounder to the third, foul. Juan Pedro Briseño trying to close the door on this game and secure the trip to the championship tonight at 7 p.m. here at Unitrade Studio. Game will be broadcast courtesy of HEB, and that one's in the dirt. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Youngstown trying to tie the score here before time runs out on their championship dreams. And that's a swing and a miss, and Todd Cagle strikes out. So down to their last at bat, down to their last out, Todd Jones, the catcher, steps into the batter's box to face off against Briseño. Briseño, the right-hander, will try to close it out and punch the ticket to the Tourneys Championship. Fires a high fastball. Laredo Cardinals lead here by 1, 8-7. Last at bat, last out. Here we go. And that's a strike. 1-1 the count. As Todd Jones tries to keep the championship dream alive here as they trail by 1. This has been an exciting matchup from the get-go. Laredo besting Youngstown on Friday. Youngstown returning the favor last night. And here we are, separated by 1 run in the bottom of the 7th. And that's a ball, a pitch Briseño liked, and so did the catcher, Gonzalez. Not to be. 2-1 the count, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th. And that's going to poke through to right field, and the dream is still alive. With Todd Jones poking one through to the outfield. And they're going to put on a speedy runner, number 9. Derek Friedman will come on and courtesy run for Todd Jones. Andrew Corfield, the shortstop, the sure hitter, approaches the plate with Briseño on the mound and a runner on. 2 outs here. in the bottom of the 7th inning. Can they do something, or will this be all it is for Youngstown, Ohio? The winner of this game facing off against Taiwan, who is back at the hotel resting away, getting ready for tonight's game. And that's ball 2 to Corfield. 2 outs, 1 runner on. Here at Unitrade Stadium, Pony Palomino World Series action brought to you by IBC and Laredo Medical Center's Buena Vista ER, and a whole host of other sponsors who you see flashed on the screen from time to time and in our commercial breaks. Thank you to all our sponsors here. Corfield takes ball 3 from Briseño. 3-1 the count, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th. Laredo clinging to a thin 1-run lead with Corfield at the plate. Briseño on the mound, and a try to pick off at first. Just a few errors separating the two from the Youngstown defense. Corfield trying to make up for it right here. Takes a walk to first base. And here comes Drew Boyvin. The right fielder, has a home run to his credit here at Unitrade Stadium. So he's got the power to put one out. Does he have one still left? Gotta have it now. Does he have one still on his bat? As he and his coach have a tender moment there. Some encouragement as they try to keep the dream alive. Do they need a home run? No. Do they need a base hit? Yes. Can we get a tie score? That's all possible, but we won't know until the action resumes. Briseño on the mound, 2 runners on, second and first. Drew Boyvin at the plate. And that's a high fastball. Briseño. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on, bottom of the 7th. Boyvin, the hitter, trying to keep his dreams alive. Takes strike 1 from Briseño. This has been some great competition between these two teams, memorable as it will be. How does it end? And Laredo seals the deal with a long fly ball to left field. Laredo will go and face Chinese Taipei, the team from Taiwan, Youngstown, Ohio, with a valiant effort, winning last night, coming back and taking Laredo all the way to the edge, unable to complete the mission. Champions nonetheless, Youngstown, Ohio. Shout out to all of the folks back home at Youngstown. Thank you so much for all your help. You've got a great bunch of kids here. You've got great coaches. We are so proud and happy to have them here in Laredo, Texas. We want you back. Hopefully next year you guys will be able to be here once again, challenging for the title. Laredo, congratulations. You go to the championship game against Chinese Taipei. Best of luck to you. Great coaching, great play by the Laredo Cardinals as they head off to the championship game tonight. So if you're watching and you're listening, 7 o'clock, Unitrade Stadium, Pony Palomino World Series Championship will take place between Laredo and Taiwan, Chinese Taipei. Thank you for joining the broadcast, and we'll be right back tonight.
people think they know Laredo, a quiet town on the Rio Grande. Even though it's close to home, there's adventure in this land. If walls could speak, if streets could talk, they'd tell you every story. They talk about the people, the culture, about the history, the glory. They tell you about the stages, the homes, and the fields where players found their victory, where the dreams became real. They tell you adventure is around every corner, that if you open your eyes, you'll see. They tell you adventure is out there. It's whatever you want it to be. Here, you can taste the adventure, hear the adventure. You can feel the adventure that we know you'll miss. Laredo has something for everyone. All are welcome. The adventure is this. Find your sense of adventure. Visit Laredo.